Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. The Pirc defense begins with d6, controlling the e5 square and preparing for knight f6. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. Your bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. White develops the knight and attacks the center. You developed your bishop on the long diagonal. This activates a bishop by developing it off of its starting square. This move activates your knight to strengthen control over the center. Very precise. Castling kingside is a great way to protect your king and develop. White keeps the momentum, moving the pawns forward. This isn't a mistake, but there was something better for you. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You take back. There were worse moves, but also something much better. You lost control of the equal position, and now you are worse. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recapturing. Out comes the queen and into the battle. Playing the same piece again slows down your progress in the opening. This misses an opportunity to kick a knight. This allows the opponent to force doubling of pawns. You overlooked an opportunity to force doubling of pawns. This missed an opportunity to punish a mistake. You had a better option, but this is not bad. This is an equal trade. You trade off equal material. After all captures, this is an equal. You captured back. The knight is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. You found a safer square for your knight. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. It's important to get all your pieces off their starting squares and into the action. This permits the opponent to sacrifice a knight for a nice tactic. You win time by threatening a queen. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You take back. This wins time by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. This moves your rook to a safer square. White activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. You're kicking their knight out of a useful square. This move puts the knight on a safer square. You gain time because your opponent must deal with your threat. This moves the rook to safety. This move doesn't hurt you much, but it doesn't help either. This threatens to win material through a fork. You prevented your opponent from being able to win material through a fork. This allows the knight to control more squares. You escape the check from the knight. This misses an opportunity to double rooks on a single file. This permits the opponent to develop a piece while also winning a tempo on a knight. You missed an opportunity to develop a piece while also winning a tempo on a knight. You allowed the opponent to kick a knight. Taking that pawn wins material after the follow-up trades are made. You overlooked an opportunity to recapture a piece. You allowed the opponent to counterattack an opposing rook. This overlooks an opportunity to counterattack an opposing rook. This is the only move that works, and you found it. Recaptures. Recapturing. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best. This move is okay, but not what I would have played. This is a very good choice. This protects the attacked pawn. You are threatening to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. Good job, that's what I would have played too. This blocks black's pawn. You overlooked an opportunity to take an open file with a rook. The rook is now on an open file, which helps control squares across the board. Yes, this is the way. This evades the check from the knight. This is a fine move. This evades the check from the knight. Nice, definitely the right move. This allows the opponent to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. Nice, you capture a vulnerable pawn, winning material after all trades are completed. Takes back. You captured back. The game was close to balanced, but now white is worse. You allowed the opponent to eventually win a pawn. This misses an opportunity to eventually win a pawn. This activates your king in the endgame. The rooks are coordinated and powerfully doubled on the file. Doubled rooks on an open file is a great strategy. One of the best moves. Good job, that's what I would have played too. That's fine. Not the best move, but not bad either. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. You dodge the check, moving your king out of harm's way. This overlooks a better way to offer an equal trade of pieces. You permitted the opponent to challenge the opposing rook for the open file. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You take back. Right on target. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. The game was close to equal, but now black has the advantage. The only move, and you found it. That was a fair trade. Recaptures. Nice find. You found the only move in this position. This rook move helps to push the pawn while staying active. This is not the right idea. Your passed pawn is one step closer to promotion. This is the strongest option. You are threatening to eventually win a rook. Very precise. You are setting up a blockade. White was worse off, but now they are in a losing position. Well done, an excellent move. This is a fair move. You are threatening to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. That's fine. You captured that free pawn. Right on target. You step your king away from the checking rook. A very strong play. Your opponent has to watch that passed pawn. A solid choice. Very good choice. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. You escape the check from the rook. This moves the rook to safety. Your passed pawn advances to its goal. This is the strongest option. You dodge the check, moving your king out of harm's way. Placing a rook behind an opposing passed pawn can inhibit the pawn's ability to promote. You are threatening to force eventual checkmate. This moves the rook to safety. Passed pawns must be pushed.